Have you ever stopped to think about why we do the things we do at Christmas? Hang stockings, sing about a reindeer with a bright red nose, or drag a tree into our living rooms? Well, in this explainer, we're going to unwrap these surprising and sometimes pretty commercial stories behind our most beloved holiday traditions. You probably think you've got the stories down pat, right? But I promise you, there are a few twists and turns you didn't see coming. As you're about to see, a lot of these timeless traditions are actually a lot younger than you'd think. Okay, first up, let's dive into the heavy hitters of the holiday season. The big guy in the red suit, and of course his very famous team of reindeer. That jolly, round fella with the white beard and the red suit, yeah, he didn't just spring out of ancient folklore fully formed. His story is this really fascinating mix of history, a little bit of marketing genius, and, a dash of holiday magic. Our modern-day Santa is really a blend of a few different things. It all started with the real St. Nicholas way back in the 4th century. Then, Dutch settlers brought their Sinterklaas traditions over to America. But the image we all recognize today, that was really locked in during the 19th century, thanks to famous poems, artists, and even soda ads that helped standardize his look for a brand new audience. So Santa's modern story is, well, pretty modern. But what about his most famous reindeer? The one with the very shiny nose? Surely that's an ancient legend, right? Well, think again. Okay, here is the big reveal. Rudolph was not a character from some old, treasured folktale. Nope. He was actually a marketing invention, dreamed up to get shoppers into a department store. And if you want to know just how recent he is, here you go. 1939. That's the year the department store Montgomery Ward created Rudolph for a little promotional coloring book they were giving away. That's right, the most famous reindeer of all isn't even 100 years old yet. All right, so from the characters to the decorations, let's keep digging into how our modern Christmas came to be. First up, the absolute centerpiece of so many of our homes, the Christmas tree. Now, the Christmas tree definitely has a longer history than Rudolph. This tradition got its start back in 16th century Germany. But it didn't really become a worldwide thing until the 19th century. And that was largely thanks to Queen Victoria making it super popular over in Britain. And what about the poinsettia? With those bright red and green leaves, it just screams Christmas, doesn't it? Well, its connection to the holiday actually comes from Mexico, where the plant is native and a really important part of their local Christmas celebrations. Okay, let's switch gears from decorations to another huge part of the holiday, giving. We're going to look at the history of Christmas cards and the whole tradition of exchanging gifts. Sending Christmas cards feels like something people have done forever, but just like Santa's modern look, it's a surprisingly recent idea that came out of Victorian England. The very first commercial Christmas card was printed in 1843. It was basically a time-saving hack for people who wanted to send holiday wishes but didn't want to write a whole bunch of individual letters. And it's pretty safe to say that idea caught on. And when it comes to presents, traditions are all over the map. While a lot of people open gifts on Christmas morning, in many other cultures, the big celebration happens on Christmas Eve. It's just a great reminder that there's no single right way to celebrate. So we've covered the icons, the decor, and the gifts. Now, let's talk about the soundtrack. You absolutely know this next song, but I'm willing to bet you have no idea about its surprising origin story. Come on, I know you're already singing the rest in your head. Jingle Bells has got to be one of the most famous holiday songs on the entire planet. But here's the curveball. Even though it's a total Christmas classic, the song never actually mentions Christmas, not once. So what was it actually written for? Believe it or not, Jingle Bells was written way back in 1857 for Thanksgiving. Yep, it was just a fun song about winter that was so catchy it ended up getting adopted by a completely different holiday. So as we start to wrap this all up, one thing becomes crystal clear. The Christmas we celebrate today isn't some single ancient tradition. It's really this incredible, vibrant tapestry woven from stories from all different times and places. Let's just quickly recap what we've uncovered. Our modern Christmas is this wild mix of history and commerce. Santa's look was perfected by advertisers. Rudolph was basically a department store mascot. Christmas cards are a Victorian invention, and one of our favorite holiday songs was originally for Thanksgiving. It's a holiday shaped by religion, culture, and, yeah, even capitalism. All of this just goes to show you that traditions are always changing, always evolving. It kind of makes you wonder, right? What new traditions are we creating right now that people 100 years from now will think are timeless? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.